So I was actually coloring with my Wink of Stella. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see? You can see it when I do that. See the sparkle on there? Isn't that pretty? So let me show you how I made this card. And you'll notice it's a different fold too, but it's a regular size piece of cardstock. So I'm going to open it. Okay. So that's how that one goes. All right. So I started out with 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. And you want to make sure this is my paper trimmer, and I'm going to use the scoring side, and I'm going to come on this side at 2.5. I'm going to score, and then I'm going to flip and do 2.5 from the other side. And that's all the scoring that we need to do with that. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my bone folder, which is around here somewhere. Yep. And I'm going to score on the left. I'm going to fold over and I'm going to score on the right. And when I did mine, I had the left fold was over the right. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is add some designer series paper. And this is from the Ornate Garden Suite. This is the Ornate Garden Specialty Paper. It's down there at the bottom, okay? And I'll tell you a little bit about this whole suite in a little bit. So I'm going to take my designer series paper. Hi, Ruby. Happy Wednesday. And I am going to attach that to the two outside folds of my card, okay? And there's the other side too. So you could make a completely different card with the other side of the cardstock. Okay, but I wanted to use the gold and I'll show you why in just a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead, and these strips were 2.25 by 5.25. And I'm gonna put those on the outside there of there's my one flap. I'm gonna open it up, and then on the other side, I'm going to add this to the other flap. Okay, there we go. So, and that's the card. So this is a regular size card. We would normally score it right in the center, but this one, I just scored it at 2.5 on both sides. And so you get this nifty little fold here. Hi, Karen Bull. Okay, so this is what your final project will look like. And I'm gonna show you what I did here, okay? So in one of the stamp sets that is featured in this suite, it is called Ornate Style. And I used the bold flower image, and I stamped it on a piece of Whisper white cardstock, and I fussy cut it out, but I was not, I always say this, but I was not fussy while I was doing it. So I went ahead and used my paper snips and I cut this out. And I wanted to show you, I stamped this in soft suede. You could use, whoops, look at that. I found that missing dimensional from earlier today. You can use the Memento black ink, but I thought that the soft suede was just a little bit softer, no pun intended, and it just added to the front of the card. Hi, Deb. I almost said happy Friday because I'm used to being on Friday. Happy Wednesday. And I'll show you guys again. Can you see the shimmer from the Wink of Stella? I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. So I took my ink pads. I'm going to do a little coloring. So let me tell you about my Wink of Stella. This was an older one that I had laying around, and I have about 12 of these because I love them so much. And the Wink of Stella just adds a great little shimmer to your project. So I decided I put a little bit of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, not the drinking alcohol, rubbing alcohol inside, and just a tiny bit. And then I went ahead and I squeezed my ink pad, and it gives you a nice reservoir of extra ink there. And then I took my Wink of Stella. Yeah, I do too. I like to fussy cut. I don't really mind it at all, but I know some people do, but to me it is relaxing as well, especially when you see that your end product. Okay, so I'm taking my Daffodil Delight, and this is my Wink of Stella pen, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but when you're coloring with it, it adds the shimmer too. Okay, so there's my one flower. We're gonna say that's a daisy. So then I went back and I just went over top of my next flower there. Okay, can you guys, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the shimmer is there, and it's really neat. So then I just went over to the edge and I kind of colored off like we would with our aqua painter or a blender pen. And then I went for my next color, which I'm going to take my soft suede. And again, this one has lots of ink in it. I'll just show you a portion of it. It's going to be like, holy moly. And I'm going to go ahead and color in the center of my daisies or sunflowers with the soft suede. Okay, and then again, I'm going to go over to the side and I'm going to remove that color. And then I'm going to come back again. And I used, for the smaller flowers, I used the, what did I use? I used Petal Pink. And that gave a nice, we'll add this here so you guys can kind of see. For the smaller little guys there, you could use whatever, but I was trying to use softer colors because, you know, the mint macaron is a soft, nice soft green. So I'm just going around and coloring those. And then I came back in the center with the terracotta tile. And this, that's one of my, I used to be a Calypso coral girl, but I think I may have moved my alliance to terracotta tile. I love the color, and I love, I don't know, I just do. It's just one of my new favorites. And so I'm gonna go down there. And again, this is the petal pink. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and color down there. All right, so then we have those. So then I came back with my new favorite color, terracotta tile. And you can see I have my ink reservoir. I've already given that one a nice big hug. And so because my color was lighter, I can just go ahead and dip right in. And I'm gonna color in the center of my little flowers there. So this is a great coloring project. If you have an extra Wink of Stella laying around and she's, you know, she's been with you for a while and she needs a little bit of rejuvenation, remember that you can always add a little bit of alcohol and she's ready to go, because you know that there's ink left, or you know that there's sparkles left down there in the bottom. We all have sparkles left down in the bottom that we don't sometimes, you know, let people see. So I'm going to do the same thing with the mint macaron. Okay. And I use that for the leaves. And this project, it goes together pretty quickly. So just coloring the leaves. So we've already added our DSP, and you'll notice that DSP, Designer Series paper, I know some people say, what in the world is she talking about? But DSP is Designer Series paper. And we're gonna go ahead and color that in. And I really like the fold of this card too. So you would be able to make 2 cards out of 1 piece of our cardstock. And it's just something different. You know, sometimes we get in the rut of making all of our cards the same way, but it's a nice, fun little fold. And, you know, who wouldn't love to receive this in the mail? Because it has a little bit of gold on it, has some sparkles. I mean, you know, What more? What more can you ask for than golden sparkles, right? Okay, so I'm gonna keep going here. And you guys are very patiently watching me color. If you don't have a Wink of Stella, you could do this with a blender pen too, or with your aqua painter, but this was just something I happened to stumble on last night. And oh my gosh, I just love the little sparkle effect that it adds to your project. It's a lot of fun. So this suite will be in the new idea book and catalog, but you guys can get it early. And we all love to, get like the new releases and things like that. So that's what this is. This is a pre-release or a new release for Stampin' Up. Again, it's called the Ornate Garden. And there are 2 different bundles that are featured in this suite. And you can purchase one or the other, or you can purchase both. And that's where I call the one shop number. Thanks, Karen. Where you put in one number and you get all this amazing stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did with the flowers in the center here. So I had the terracotta tile, and I also used a little bit of the petal pink. I wanted to soften the terracotta tile a little bit, so I dipped it in the petal pink and kind of mixed it a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that, doing a little mixing here. It's okay to mix colors like in the lid, and you can wipe it out later. These remind me of dahlias. I have, I'm going to tell a little story here. When I was in 4-H, I used to enter my vegetable garden and my flower garden in the, the garden competition. And I used to have dinner plate dahlias, and these remind me of those dahlias. So they're really pretty, and you can color these in, like I said, any way you would like. But the reason I brought the petal pink is I wanted it to be a little bit softer. Terracotta tile is kind of a darker and more of a bold color, and I wanted to soften it a little bit. So I just brought those in. Okay, last one here. You guys are being so patient. Thank you. And I'm going to color. So you can see, you can color with your Wink of Stella. Who knew, right? And now you don't have to throw her away. I mean, you can continue to order them because we all love the Wink of Stella, but it's nice to have a fresh new one. But this is a great way to get make sure you're getting, all of the glitter out of there. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm a glitter girl. So if I can color and add glitter at the same time, I am one happy stamper. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead over top of this and just color it back in a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in the center and add the dark. And you can come back in just like you would any other thing, and you can highlight a little bit if you'd like. That's one of the great things about the Stampin' Up! Stamps is they give you those little, those little brush marks on the stamp itself. And it's kind of basically like a little tutorial, and it teaches you where you can go and highlight just to add some dimension to your different stamps and your different images. All right? So, and it really does make a difference. You can really see from taking that advantage to not how it brings life to your flowers or whatever image that is. Okay, so there is my little image there that I colored in. I don't want my Stella to go to waste, so I'm gonna put my lid back on. Thanks, Deb. Hi, Kathy Boyer, hope you're doing well. Okay, so back to my card. Right, so here's our fun fold of the day. And so what I did is I took my stitched rectangles. How many of you have these? Because I know I've said several times before, but I'm not sure what I did without them. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put dimensionals on the back of my rectangle. but I'm going to put them like this because it's going to go over top, but we don't want to seal this because then our friends can't see the amazing goodness and words that we have to tell them on the inside, okay? So this is my stitch rectangle. Whoops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to throw that at you guys. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add this here. Okay, and if you stamped with me before, you know I love my dimensionals. So that is how that is going to go. Then we are going to take our image here that we just colored, and let's see, can you guys see the shimmer? There you go, you can see it right there. So there's our shimmer and shine. So I'm going to put, you can see I stamped again on the back in black, and I decided I wanted a little bit of a softer image. So then I went with, I told you guys my secret, I went with my soft suede to give it a little bit. I know I love the dimensionals too, Deb, and I'm so thankful that they come 300 in a pack because I use them all the time. So, all right, so we're just going to position this right on the front here. Okay, just like that. Isn't that beautiful? I love how those, they all kind of just go together with the mossy meadow. Sorry, mint macaron. I'm getting my greens confused. Okay, then as a part of this suite, there are these little gilded gems, and I absolutely love these. And I'm going to use this is the Take Your Pick tool, and they help you. It's like a little spatula. Oh, goodness. A little spatula for your diamonds and dimensions and all kinds of things. So I'm going to use these, and I want to continue with the gold theme. So I have gold on my designer series paper. So I just added those two there on the front. So just a little bit of embellishment. I love embellishments too. So now we're going to go to the inside of the card. Okay. So the inside piece, the Whisper White, you would need would be 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And that is going to go right there in the center. Okay. If you wanted to, and you wanted to be super fancy, you could put designer series paper on the inside too. I guess it depends on how good of a friend this person is. If you want to use extra designer series paper or not. If not, you could always, if you wanted to decorate the sides, you could use Whisper White here as well. Okay, so we're gonna decorate this just a little. So I'm gonna pull this aside so I don't stamp. So here is the floral image. And I'm going to ink this up in soft suede. And I'm just going to add a little bit down there on the bottom, okay, in the corner. Then I have my sentiment. So let me show you the sentiments here that this suite offers. So this is the one that's called Ornate Thanks. So we have Ornate Style. Ornate Style is the one with the large flower. And then we have Ornate Thanks, which is the one that has all of the words. And the great thing is you have these 3 large sayings, and then everything else, like seriously thank you, or why thank you, you're amazing, thank you for all you do. So all of these things are great thank you sentiments. So what I did is I picked thanks. And I also picked, your kindness is so loved. And the nice thing is you can put them on there together. And so you only have to stamp once. So whatever your sentiment is. So I'm going to say thanks. And your kindness is so loved. And you could pick obviously whichever you wanted. But that will go on the inside of our card. Right here in the center. We put snail on there and put that on our fold. I think that's one of my darling children at the door, ringing the doorbell. All right. So that would be your fold. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Tammy. So we could also put this on the inside if we wanted to decorate it a little bit. I think I'm going to use the white on the inside of this one. And we could even come back and we could, sorry, I keep sticking to I'm sticking to myself. You could put that on the one side. And then we have our other piece of Whisper White. And we can do this on the other side. And that way you're just bringing the flower. And you could put this one at the top. So if you wanted to write a little message on there, you could. So let's go ahead and put all that together and then we'll seal it up. And then you guys can go and enjoy this beautiful day. Hopefully you all are experiencing sunshine wherever you are. So we have this piece here. Okay. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to put it down here at the bottom. So it's a simple card. It's just a regular, like I said, normally we would fold it right in half and that would give us our 5.5 by 8.5. But I just took this one and I scored on either side at 2.5 and it gives you this cute little fold. Okay. So the last thing I did is I took a piece of this is the terracotta tile ribbon. And I'm just going to go ahead and seal the card with that, seal it. And so I went ahead and just, I don't know, this might be the world's tiniest bow here. I don't think I gave myself much grace there, but yeah, there we go. So that is our project for the day using the Ornate Thanks and the Ornate style. So if you guys are interested, this is available in the Ornate Thanks bundle. Comes with the Ornate border dies, and that one you bundle and save. We all love a good bargain. So that one's $46.75, and that's the one where you get the sentiments. And then the Ornate style is the one that comes with the Ornate layers dies, and that one is $52. Or if you want to do the one shop number, it's $136.75, and you would get the designer series paper, the 2 stamp sets, the 2 dies, 2 sets of dies, the embossing folder, the ribbon, and the gilded gems. Okay,